Howdy.
Hello.
How's your day/week going?
Oh, it's good. It's a short week. I'm happy.
Oh, I am beyond happy. I actually, because this comes out Wednesday, I will already be home, so I'm good with talking about this. I was able to switch my in-person doctor's appointment to a teledoc doctor's appointment, so I can do it like via video chat. So when I go up to Grand Rapids tomorrow, I think, for my hair appointment, I can just head straight home from
that's
there.
Nice.
And I called my mom because she's in Florida right now. She flew my grandparents down there for the season, though they were super late this year. They normally go in October, so she just got them down there, I think, like Thursday.
Wow.
So real late this year. But I called her. I was like, hey, what time are you going to be home? She's like, probably around midnight tomorrow. I was like, ooh, I'll beat you home then. So she knows I'll be home early because I initially said I'll be home around like 2:00 Wednesday. But I said, don't tell Dad. I want to surprise him.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not planning on doing a dinner by himself because he'll have company tomorrow.
That's so fun. I love that. I'm jealous you're getting home at a reasonable hour.
Yes.
We both work tomorrow, so Eric works till 7.
Ooh.
Probably 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then he has to drive home, and then we have to load up the little wolf and drive up, and we'd stop at my parents' house to get my car back and leave their car with them so they can have like the car they need to accommodate all their travelers.
Oh, that's right, because you have her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I have her car, and then we have to make the extra 50 minutes up to Troy, so it'll take 6 years to get home on Tuesday, but we'd rather go Tuesday than Wednesday because, when you leave at night, you have like the urgency and like everything is I'd rather drive at night, like less cars on the road anyway. But when you leave, like, it is dark, but it's going to be dark like after 5 anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
But I hate leaving the next morning because I just get like the anticipation anxious, like, let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. And then sometimes Eric's like, well, I can do the thing first and then the thing I can pack in the morning. I'm like, no, you can't.
No, you're doing it now.
Go.
Exactly.
So, and then it's like you stop at my parents' house and then we're there for 30 minutes, like talking, and like we're going to get there, go into their garage, get their car, get my car, put theirs in there and then leave. Like there's no chit chatting. There's like no time for things to run longer than they should because of all the things. But we bought some Lunchables and snacks to just eat rather than stopping at another drive. I'm just over like all the drive-throughs.
I mean, you can only do so much. I don't remember what I was doing, but I was driving a lot recently, like within the last 4 months or whatever. And yeah, same thing. Do I have stuff at home? Like, am I getting at home at a reasonable time, like 7 o'clock? Could I make something? Absolutely. But I don't want to. So I would just grab something like Culver's or McDonald's or something. It just gets old. Mm-hmm. I can't do it after so
like
much.
All of them is just like, ugh. So we got Lunchables and some snacks.
Which is not much better, but
it's not much better, but
different.
It's different, and it's still just like, I mean, we got the pizza, so it's like a piece of bread, it's cheese, it's meat, it's sauce. There's nothing like
they are pretty good.
Heart attack giving. You know what I mean? Like eating 15,000 cheeseburgers in a year, is going to give me a heart attack. Eating 15,000 Lunchables. Probably not so much.
Might give you something, but
you know what I mean. Like the pizza, at least I feel like is the best out of the options. Like the ham and cheese can stay the fuck away from me.
Okay, I used to hate the ham and cheese. Like growing up, it was the pizza or the nachos, but like ham and cheese, I'm like absolutely fucking not. However, at work, we have different snack bars, and the cafeteria is its own thing. But down in Snack Bar 2, there's like a full kind of like mini mart essentially, and they have the turkey or ham, but they're both like meat and cheese. And I was like, no, but I was desperate one day, and I was like, I kind of want a Lunchable, even though it's not what I like. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna eat it, and they're better than they used to be, at least memory wise.
They just like I don't know. They just ick me out. Like, that just
how
looks
slimy
preserved.
they are. I'm not a huge fan.
It just looks preserved. Like,
right.
That's the thing, is they look like they could sit in your fridge for 3 months.
Well,
or like the pizza can, but pizza can. Like, all ingredients.
Well, hi, Evie.
All ingredients of a pizza can sit in your fridge for months, and you'll be just fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's not.
Yeah. But
that's
like,
not the point.
Taste-wise, they're better than they look. I'll just put it that way.
That's good. I'm happy for that.
Did you do anything fun this weekend?
We went to the Gatorade holiday party this weekend. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, it looked fun.
Pretty fancy. Oh, yeah. Eric had a blast at the karaoke machine.
I saw.
Couldn't get that man off the karaoke machine. I was like, let somebody else have a turn. Like,
for those listening at home, we have like a little bit of a Snapchat group chat with everyone but Eric. So you've already met Grace. Obviously, you've met Amy and I. That's a given. Hannah hopefully will be here soon. We're trying to get her for our December one, which is in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But she's moved recently. There's a lot of things going on, so we'll see if we can get her up. And then Emily, which is Eric's sister. Have we had her on the podcast?
No, I was just thinking I should text her.
Yeah. So hopefully she'll be coming up soon too, and y'all can meet her. But we have a Snapchat group of all of those. And I don't know what it was, but I was super tired this weekend. And I went to bed at what was it, Saturday, the event?
No, Saturday.
So Saturday, I must have was in bed by 7:30. Like, I wasn't necessarily sleeping by 7:30, but I was in bed. But because I was already in bed, I probably fell asleep around 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock at the latest. But I mean, that's early for a Saturday when you're 24 years old.
Right.
And I woke up to 3 snap video from Amy in our group chat, and it's Eric singing his favorite song, Dancing Queen by ABBA.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Not only was he singing, but he was trying to do the high note type singing, which is just like, Eric, I love you, but leave this to ABBA. And it was a sight to wake up to Sunday morning.
Oh, I bet. It was so funny. So we knew I knew a few people there. So we had played softball over the summer with one of his coworkers. Mm-hmm. And so she was there, and her boyfriend that also played on the team were there. And he sent a video of Eric to our softball chat. I was like, that's so mean, but hilarious. He actually did Take On Me.
Oh, that's a good song.
That was much better. I was like, nailed it. We did a duet, which he apparently didn't know there was, and then someone else joined in. Breaking Free.
Take On? Oh, Breaking Free. Oh, Breaking from Free. High School Musical. That's a throwback.
It was so fun, except Eric didn't know half the words, but it's
That's
fine.
why it's karaoke. It has the words.
Well, he was singing the pink words. I'm like, you can't sing the pink words. Pink
is
yours.
Mine. Yeah.
Blue is yours.
Gabriella and Troy. Come on.
I'm get out of here. I also participated in a group performance of I Want It That Way.
I want it that. I'm going to stop there because that copyright issues. We don't have the money for that.
No.
But yeah, it looked like a blast. Fun. I'm glad y'all had fun. Do you want to know what I did this entire weekend? Well, first, pretty much that was the most of the weekend. I did laundry, 3 loads of laundry. It was pretty boring. But Friday, because it was a really slow day at work, at lunchtime, I started a new show on Netflix. And I'll just put it this way. There was 8 seasons, and I say were because reasons. Were 8 episodes, and they were all an hour long. Yeah, I stayed up till midnight and finished the entire first season.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which, I mean, haha, that was the perfect segue into what we're talking about today. Binge-worthy episodes, or binge-worthy shows, on whatever platform. So this one was Netflix.
Yeah, I can't judge though, because the weekends Eric does work. I just have the TV on all day. A lot of times, I start my weekend mornings, Saturday, Sunday mornings, I get up with Evie just because we're awake first, and I like to get her just out of the bed if she's awake, because then she starts wanting to play. And
get you
so we'll come
up.
Downstairs. Yeah, so we'll come downstairs now, and we'll I'll turn on the TV and we'll watch episodes that I missed from the week. So Bachelor in Paradise has 2 episodes a week. The Kardashians, all the episodes of shows that are still weekly shows.
Mm-hmm. You have cable?
Yeah, we have cable now.
Ew.
Those are all on Hulu. We do Xfinity Stream, so it's it's technically cable, but for all the sports we watch and stuff, the apps are so slow. Fox Sports crashes at least 3 times during a game. Like, it's irritating. So for sports, and I just love HGTV. I love like the Food Network. I was missing cable. I just like to throw something on. Like, if I can't decide, just like making a choice.
I have a few shows like that on Netflix, though. It's just like, am I watching it? Yeah, but when I don't know what I want to watch and I just want something on, this is what I put on. Yeah,
I do that too, but there's just sometimes I can't even choose that. So I just scroll through. But yeah, so now we'll get up and we'll watch. Me and the dog will get up and like watch all my episodes from like the real like cable kind of things from the week. But yeah, I would watch this one. I will say, like, Netflix has been mean lately because they'll drop episodes in batches now.
Oh yeah, I mean, and Hulu does that, and I was just like, okay, you can expect it from Hulu, but Netflix is like getting on that game. I'm like, I want binge-worthy stuff. I want to be able to sit down in one sitting and do the entire first season, like I just did Friday.
Yeah, it's really annoying because they did Love Is Blind, which is a reality show, and you want to watch it. So, like, if anyone is living under a rock and doesn't know Love Is Blind, a bunch of people, like men and women, go into these, like, they call it an experiment. And the girls are kept on one side, boys are kept on another, and they have access to these pods where they can talk to the opposite gender. And so they can make a connection without ever seeing each other and decide to get engaged, as they say, sight unseen.
Right.
And then after a couple decides to get engaged, could you stop? I'm trying to podcast.
I was going to say, Evie's right under you, it sounds like.
She is. She sure is.
Sorry, everyone.
I apologize. I hope your dog's not triggered by squeaking. But so then they can talk to, once they decide to get engaged, then everyone goes through the next steps. Like all the couples, I think this season there were 5 couples that got engaged that they chose to follow. Because like some of them get engaged and you never hear from them again because they're like boring TV per se.
Oh yeah.
So they like followed these 5 couples and then they all go on.
Is this like out in the real world, or
then
is
they
it
go
like
out to the real world? Oh. Then they go on this almost like honeymoon kind of thing, like for a few days out in like Mexico or wherever.
Right.
And then for a few days, and then they meet the other couples. So they meet the other people that they had like dated kind of in the pods. Is what they say.
Evie. Oh my gosh.
Parker and I talked for how long? We talked for how long before we recorded, and she was like silent.
Completely silent. I am so sorry, everyone.
Sweet Jesus. And so like they meet the other couples and then they all hang out and then problems ensue there. And then they all go and like move back. Cause all these people, which I think is really smart, are from the same area. So this season they were all in like Austin, Texas. They're all from that area. So
that's
then they all go
like a great idea.
Because
could be.
Otherwise, but because if people are from Houston or New York, then they are not going to work, you know, because it's long distance. So absolutely. It's smart to pull from the same city. So then they all move into the same apartment building. Like the couples move in together and then everyone's just in the same building for ease of like filming and whatnot. And then they go through the whole process for like 6 weeks. I want to say the whole experiment lasts 6 weeks. And then after that, they decide at the altar, am I going to marry you or not marry you?
No pressure.
People say I do or I don't. And it's crazy.
Oh, okay, I'm not going to ruin it because now I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, so you have to watch it. It's so good. And so they did this. They released the first 4 and then the next few and then the finale and reunion. And I was like, give me it all at the same time so I feel resolved.
Though,
and then you don't get spoilers.
It's a good production like tactic because not only does it really kind of entrap per se the viewers because they're just like I want more and they can't wait, so they're I don't know how like all the viewing stuff actually does on the like back end, but I imagine they have to get like X amount of numbers when it releases or whatever to determine if they're moving forward or whatever. So I feel like if they kind of drag it out depending on the show, depending on a lot of things, because I know sometimes they think like it's gonna be big, and then it happens and it just like kind of tanks.
Yeah.
But I think that's a pretty good tactic. But I mean that's the show I watched Friday. I don't know if I said the title of it or not, but The Bastard Son and the Devil Himself, which I was intrigued by the title because I was like, this is interesting. And the first episode was one of those shows where you start. I'll explain it here in a second. Sorry, but where you start watching it and you're just so confused that you want to watch it more because you're like, okay, I'm into this, but it's confusing. There's so much like backstory that you know that they're going to like gather up on the subsequential episodes, but it's just like, I want to know more because it's an intriguing thing, but you haven't told us any information and I want to know the information. So I'm going to watch more. Well, it's about these like two different kind of factions of, I think they're considered witches. Witches. That they're the Fairborns or Blood Witches. So it's this whole thing that, like, of course, the Blood Witches are bad, and the Fairborn Council has excommunicated them. And this is actually based in the UK, so like a lot of this is around London. Which, when I went to London, of course, in May, anytime I can talk about.
Did you go to London?
I know it's. I don't know, maybe. But like when they showed some of the like shots, I was like, I've been there.
Oh, you're that guy.
Yeah. Well, no, physically, like one of them was, I'm 99% sure, like I know a lot of city streets look very similar, but just kind of the angle of stuff. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we walked through that. So like it was pretty cool to see. But, it follows this, the main character. I honestly can't even remember his name. Nathan, that is like, he's potentially a blood witch because his dad is like the antagonist of the show. So the bastard son and the devil himself, he is the bastard son and the devil himself being the bad guy of the show.
Gotcha.
But it is so good. I mean, it has like a romantic type of kind of build to it. There's LGBT kind of stuff to it. A lot of action, of course, and I will say one of the biggest plot twists that I've ever, not huge, but I was not expecting it, and I was thoroughly impressed, and I really want a season 2. Like, it was so good that I binged the entire episode in one day, or entire season. So,
wow.
If y'all like the like supernatural but like action stuff, highly recommend. And I mean, it just came out. It came out on October 28th. So like less than a month old. Yeah.
Wow.
That's really pretty good.
I need a new show to start. Well, December 2nd, I think the second season of Firefly Lane is coming out.
Why does it sound familiar?
Because it was also a book. So I don't know. It had Katherine Heigl and Sarah Chalke. I don't know. It was good. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix technically a Netflix original, but it's based off a book. So I started watching the show. Like season 1 came out like 3 years ago, maybe like 2020.
Right.
And I watched most of season 1, and then I kind of like tailed off. I was like, I don't know. I don't really care to finish this. And then my friend Emily gave me the book. I borrowed her book of it, and I read the book this summer. And then I rewatched the series, and I was like, this is bullshit. It is not anything alike. Like they have the same names in some of the same storylines, but not a lot of them. Like in one of them, she has 3 kids, in the other, she has 1. Like that big of a difference. And I'm like, why are you doing this? Just call it something else and steal this. Like, I get that they have to do the royalties, but I was like, this is not the same. This is not the same. I get that it's more dramatic for TV. And what they do in the show that I like better than the book is that it goes back and forth in time. Mm-hmm. Like it shows them as teenagers and then in college and then all in the same episode. Like they'll jump back and forth.
Right.
In the book, it was like chronological. But since I knew how the show was, I expected something very different from the book. So then when something happened in the book, I was like, what the fuck? That's not okay. And I texted my friend and I was like, you're kidding me. And she's like, no. I was so mad because I kept waiting for it to happen, waiting. And then something else happened. I was like,
so you watched the show before you read the book?
I watched a little bit of the show. Yeah. So I expected some things in the show to happen in the book. I expected both ways. So I watched some of like first 6 episodes out of 10, and then I stopped and I read the book. And then after I read it, I rewatched the show to see how the season ended. And I was like, what? That's
kind of what I'm doing with one of the shows. So there was a series of books that I read back in high school, which I still haven't finished the last one. It's the Mortal Instrument series. And I think I'm still on the first chapter of the last book. I can't tell you the name. It's literally been that long. I started it in high school. It's been 6 years since high school, almost 7 years since high school, and I still have yet to finish it. But they made the first movie, City of Bones, and it wasn't bad. but it wasn't good. So ABC Family, or Freeform as it's now known, picked it up as a series on TV. And I was like, oh my gosh, like the casting's much better. The characters like seem more like the characters, and they were like following the books, not word for word, but like so much better than they did for the movie. And I was like so happy, but then they changed. They killed a character that's not dead. There is a character that's supposed to be dead that's alive. And I was just like, I don't know kind of what's happening in this last book because I still haven't read it yet. But I was kind of getting to that point in the TV series. So I'm like, I'm going to stop watching because I would rather be the excitement of like the first time from the book, because like I know I like where the writer and how it's going and like what's going on and the feeling I get from the book from this series, and then I'll be either excited or disappointed from the TV show. But yeah, I understand that where you're kind of doing like back and forth.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I'm not a big reader. Like I've never been a big reader. I like it, but I have to be in the exact right mood. Like the circumstances have to be correct. The book has to be correct. Like we did just finish my like book about The Office, like behind the scenes of The Office, and I have a few others that are like backup on my list to read. But it also helps when you're like have other people holding you accountable. Like if I borrowed a book, I need to read it so I can give it back.
Right.
But I don't know. But it's also hard to like binge watch TV.
Hair
everywhere. I don't know if it's mine or hers. Binge watch TV when Eric and I are on opposite schedules. Not opposite anymore, but like conflicting schedules. He doesn't get home till like 8:30, and I'm like, okay, I want to watch TV. And then by the time we eat dinner, much better. By the time we eat dinner, then he's like, okay, I'm ready for bed because I have to get up and go to work at 7 a.m. And now with our further commute, I'm like,
yeah,
okay, so when are we going to watch the show?
How much further is the commute? I think we talked about it during the
it's an extra 20.
Update,
so today it was, for me, getting home was 30 minutes.
Not bad. Do you guys have any snow down there?
No, you know what? I'm going to derail you for a hot second. I had a dream last night that it was snowed in Michigan.
Okay.
It snowed in Michigan like it did this week where you guys had like a foot, let's say. Yeah.
For anyone listening that's not in Michigan, we were under a winter storm warning for 4 days straight. I think a friend who lives pseudo near me had a measuring tape out, and we had 18 inches.
Yeah, it was a lot of snow. So in my dream, y'all had that much snow, and then that weekend, like the next day or two, was our wedding, and there was no more snow. And I was like, what is the point?
It's happening in real life. We have lost so much already. Tomorrow it's supposed to be like 37, and then it's supposed to be high 42 Wednesday. We're going to be losing it all by Thanksgiving.
We discussed this. I am psychic.
Yeah.
But I was just like irate in my dream, and it was like the rehearsal dinner and everything was going. I was pissed. It was not going well. But anyway.
You've had multiple of those dreams where like something's going on with the wedding and everything's going wrong.
Wrong.
Hey.
Pisses me off.
But we're going to speak this into existence. Yes, I have tape on my finger. The wedding is going to go off without a hitch. Everything is going to be fine. It's going to be an amazing day. It's going to be a beautiful day because we have a beautiful groom and a beautiful bride. And, of course, beautiful groomsmen and bridesmaids.
Exactly. Beautiful. But yeah, I just had to
haven't spoken about it on the podcast. I am one of the groomsmen, so.
It'd be kind of awkward at this point if you weren't.
Yeah, especially the fact that we have podcasts and we've been doing this for how many months now? I think we started at the beginning of May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months. We've been doing this for half a year already.
Happy 6 months to us.
Yes.
Do you give me a present?
You will in January.
Oh, fuck you. All right. Anyway, back to TV. So anyways, we're watching a few because we have like a few we'll watch together. Like we binge watched Ted Lasso.
Right.
Last year.
Is that on HBO?
It's on Apple.
Apple. Oh, I don't have Apple. Okay.
Yeah. Apple is like an impossible thing to share because of your Apple ID.
Yeah,
which is smart on their part, but like it's all linked together. So then you would have like my entire like
I don't know how I feel about it though, because like I got like the 6 months free when I got my new phone or whatever, and I did sign up for it. I canceled it before the end, of course, but like I mean, there's plenty to watch on it, but at least when I looked at it, I was like, I don't know. I don't feel like this is the right platform for me.
Oh, I liked it. We watched Ted Lasso, and I watched The Morning Show. That was one. So there are certain shows like I watch by myself when Eric's not here, and that was one of them. So it has Reese Witherspoon, Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell, like a billion big name stars. It was so good. I watched 2 seasons.
So this is like actual, like a fictional show?
It's a fictional show about a morning talk show.
Okay, I was like, when I heard that, I was thinking like ABC This Morning or something.
No. It was so good. It was so good. That one I binged for sure.
Is it like a comedy?
No. It was serious.
Really? With Steve Carell?
So good. It was so good. He was a bad guy.
Ooh.
And that's not spoiling. It's in the first episode, like right out the gate.
But
that was so good. But Eric and I have been watching we've been watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel for a while. Like, it's just hard to be like, you have to be specific.
How is that? I've seen it on like ads and stuff, and I'm like, I feel like I would like this.
I would binge it if I wasn't held back by another person.
Wait, what episode are you on? Because maybe
we're on season 2.
Okay, then
it's not very far into it. You have plenty of time because it's like never the first. Like,
it's on Prime Video, isn't it?
It's on Prime.
So to save money, I canceled my Prime subscription. Oh my god! So I can't watch it. Actually, I can log into my mom's.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. Christmas is saved.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how much money
subscriptions and stuff are insane. But my family, like, we each pay for a service. But I do like it. You'll like it. Did you ever see Gilmore Girls?
No.
Okay, well, they're written by the same people, so it's not. Oh, we've talked about this briefly with Isha, but they're written by the same people, and I like their writing. But it is very funny. It's very like fast paced. Like, it's quick. But we've also been watching Dahmer, the Dahmer docuseries.
I can't do that.
And the thing about it is, like, generally speaking, I am one to get freaked out and be like, oh, someone's going to kill me now that I've seen this. And, like, it's in my head. Like, I get spooked. But
flashback to our Halloween episode that I don't know if we talked about it the week after, but after we got done recording that day, I had to be on the phone with her for the next, almost 2 hours because she was home alone and she was scared.
And I had to go to Kroger. So he virtually accompanied me to Kroger because he scared me. So, like, I am not one, like, I love, like, crime TV, but I have to be in a not mental space, but for lack of a better term,
a mental space. Absolutely a mental space.
To be like, it's not real. And the fact that Dahmer is a real person, but I'm like, but he's not out. I think.
Is he?
You're correct.
We're not to the end yet. Is he alive?
I'm pretty sure he was killed in prison. We haven't finished it yet. My point in being not someone takes forever to want to watch the show. But anyway, it's so, like, the fact that he was real and that he's not out and about anymore. Like, he's not going to knock on my door. Is like okay with me. And that was so long ago, and that it still feels fictional. I don't know how to describe it, but there was one night we watched a few episodes, and then we went out downtown Indianapolis, and then we had to wait on the people, like we were going to their apartment. We had to wait outside their door. It was in Milwaukee.
Okay.
But still, like we watched a few, and then it was dark out, and we were waiting outside someone's door for them to come get us. And I was like, this was a bad day to have watched this. And we had to like walk down dark streets. And I was like, this is so scary.
Yeah. So Zac Efron played in what
Ted Bundy.
So he was Ted Bundy. Okay.
Oh, he was so good.
So I've seen that movie, and that was actually pretty good, but it was a lot. And I don't know if I actually like finished it completely, but I know I was near the end. It was good, but at the same time, I was like, I can't do the whole serial killer thing. The scary thing about, I'm going to say Bundy now. Who did you just,
Dahmer.
The scary thing about Dahmer, is, I assume for most of y'all who have seen it, know, that he was gay.
Yeah.
Imagine if that happened now, or I should say, kind of reverse everything. Imagine if Grindr existed back then.
It'd be so fast.
It's so scary. Well, I mean, not to get too real on things, but a couple of years ago, that happened here in Michigan.
Yeah.
Someone, I think in the Ann Arbor area, it was a local person who would go to Necto in Ann Arbor, that he went for a date / hookup, whatever it was, that he met someone on Grindr, and the man killed him, hung him upside down, and like I can't remember what he ate, but he ate something off of him. I think it was his testicles. Ew. But yeah, a local person that a lot of people knew.
Yep.
Met someone on Grindr, and the man killed him.
I know. That is kind of. It's
just bad. Like, and not that it was a meme, but like, after this whole show came out, it was kind of a meme on like gay social media that. Again, it wasn't like haha meme, but it was like it was a viral type of meme where it was just like imagine Dahmer with Grindr, and it's like so many people I know like deleted Grindr after watching that, and
it's spooky.
It's scary, and that's one of the things that like I can't get myself to watch it. It hits too close to home for me.
Yeah. Well, and some of these things about like all of these. And I literally mean all of these true crime things. It's like some of them I know, I forget which ones, so forgive me. I know some of them can get made without family permission.
Yeah. Well,
and there's just so many. Like at some point, like are you like encouraging in some way, like subtly encouraging people to do this because then they do get notoriety, they do get talked about. Is this glorifying what's happening, or is it actually just informing people like, hey, people are shitty?
Yeah, and
people can be capable of stuff that you don't realize.
I think it's called True Criminal. I saw it's like a short docuseries. I think they do. It was definitely YouTube, but it was about the Kalamazoo home invasion, which of course caught my eye because I live in Kalamazoo. And yeah, December of 2019, someone broke into a young couple's, and I mean, they were both from Texas.
Are you prepared to stay on the phone with me for the next hour?
It's not bad. Well, I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. But they just moved to Kalamazoo like 4 weeks ago, from Texas, both in the Navy, 22 years old, the dad, and I think 21, 22, with a 3-year-old daughter. And some guy broke into their house, and unfortunately things went bad, and the guy killed the dad, 22 years old, Navy vet, in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I mean, it was like a 28-minute video, so it was like a short docuseries, but I just kind of like watched the whole thing, and I was like, talk about close to home. I mean, this was literally down the road from me. I mean, it was a year before I moved here, so knock on wood, fortunately, but like
still,
it just shows kind of how you never think something's going to happen near you, and
and it does. Well, there was one. Have you seen Criminal Minds before?
I am not a huge fan of it, to be honest, but
I love
my sister Chloe, we should ask if she wants to be on the podcast. One last thing, because I know we're getting close to time, and we can probably do a whole nother episode on this, but I rearranged my setup, and hopefully you and Eric can come visit, and we can do like some editing or podcast stuff here. Yeah. I think, in my opinion, a nice little setup here that we can do. So hopefully we can do that soon.
Oh, I have a physical arrangement here too. We'll talk about it. We'll
talk about off the episode,
off the air. But last thought on to wrap up on Criminal Minds, there was a criminal, they call him an unsub, that was profiling against brunettes in their 20s that were teachers. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. It was so freaky. I was fine with it until it was like described as me as the type. I was like, what the fuck? That one's a fake show, but still, I was like, Maggie, can you sleep in bed with me?
It's real mentally, though, because I think specifically Criminal Minds, this is the reason why I can't do the whole real crime shows type stuff, because I can't remember specifically what episode. I do remember it was like there was one scene that they were like train tracks, and they were chasing someone through all the cars and stuff, train cars. And like, again, Chloe really likes that show. So like growing up, anytime it was her time to control the TV, like we would watch that or whatever. And because of that, like, that's why, like, I'm not a huge fan of Criminal Minds. Of course, it's the whole like sibling thing, but there was just one episode that, like, for the most part, like, they're suspenseful and they're like, it's a thriller type show. So you're kind of like on the edge of your seats. But one episode, it really fucked with my mind, and I was genuinely scared about, like, going outside and living life type of scary. So it screwed me up, and that's where it's just like I can't do whole like criminal stuff, which is funny because I watch 911 now, which I mean it's not really criminal, but it has
it's on the opposite end though. They're like
cops and firefighters, which I guess to finish everything off, that's a really great show. If you have not checked out 911, it really pulls on the heartstrings. I cry almost every episode.
Love that.
And I don't cry that often. So like the fact that it's really, really a tearjerker for me, it's a really good show. It's on Hulu. I don't remember how many seasons. It's like 8 seasons, I think. And I think it's still going on. But it's a Fox show. So if you don't have Hulu, I assume you can find reruns and stuff on Fox. But highly recommend. Any final thoughts before we wrap up on any shows?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. This is the day before Happy Thanksgiving. The day before Thanksgiving. Oh, that's cute. I don't have any Thanksgiving attire. This is just what I wore from work. As you can tell, my Pfizer logo. But yeah, so if y'all haven't done so already, check out these shows. The Bastards on the Devil Himself, that's pretty new. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is what Amazon Prime, I think we said. Love is Blind. Where can people find that? Netflix. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to try and find that. Yes. Dahmer show is on Netflix as well. 911 is on Hulu, and I want to say there was one other one. Oh, Criminal Minds. I think you can get that off of Hulu.
It's split. It's like Netflix and Hulu and Paramount, because it's had like 13,000 seasons and it's coming back, that it's been split up with who owns it. Yeah.
So yeah, go check those out. Those are some of our recommendations. Drop us a comment on our YouTube or Instagram, DM us. Or honestly, if you're kind of old fashioned like I am sometimes, we have an email. We've talked about that at gmail.com. Send us some recommendations. Send us some of your favorite episode shows, and we'll check them out. So, like Amy just said, have a happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week. Peace out.
Bye.